Traders, how you doing? Hope everyone had a great Wednesday. I wanted to drop a quick video, but before I do a video, quick disclaimer here, and I will let you guys read the disclaimer. All right, that's the disclaimer. So now let's get into the trading. So I've got a couple of members talked about, actually PM'd, wanted to go over the trades that I took this today, and I thought why don't I just do a quick video for for the community and talk about the trades that I took. Here are the trades, by the way. So just I bring those up, and these are I'm bringing these up from Stock Twits as I post all my ideas as Stock Twits every morning. So the trades that I took, FSLR, that was the call on FSLR. The trade that I took was MSI. That was the other trader in the room who is a great trader, called the trade. I actually took it. This trade, I'll talk about it, but as I'm going over this trade was I took the trade at 64, and I got I got triggered at 64.24. So it's not, this trade would have been a lot better had it not been for the 24-cent slippage. But that's a real deal. I mean, when you trade the real money, the real deal happened when you get slippage. So I end up really didn't making much on the MSI trade. Because of the slippage, I got out. It did go all the way up to 65 bucks. So very nice trade, by the way. Great call, great trade. Facebook, one of my favorites long this morning, 931, 935 trade was called, 954 raised the stop to break even, saw the price action changing directions, and 956, 2 minutes later, we took target at 96.25. So we've got 2 to 1 here, 2.5 to 1, 2 to 1 here, about nothing, kind of a scratch here, and that was the morning. That's the closing profits for today. Then I also wanted to bring you guys, show you a little bit what else we do in the room. Obviously, that's one of the swing trades that we've had, and then in the room, I also help the room as to what I'm doing with the trades. So here are the trades that I actually did live in the room. As you can see, we fit earning calls. We did earning trade on fit. That's the trade. Then we moved on to Tesla and said, let's do Tesla. These are the trades I did on Tesla, and also I did a trade on GMCR as well. Sold the $90 call. So tomorrow morning is going to be a very nice day, nice profitable day, and we'll go over and I'll show you how these are doing at the moment. So let's take a look at the fit. As you saw the calls on, you saw the trade on fit. Fit is if fit was gapping down, fit was gapping down. But this is well within our parameters of the trades that we've sold. So that's going to be 100% profit. I love selling volatilities. I did, as you saw the trade, I like to protect myself. So I did sell. I did buy a call to protect just in case there is somewhat of a breakout coming in fit. Obviously that didn't happen. I'm okay to do that. Fit's at 45 bucks, closed right at 45 bucks. I've had $40 call, and then I have $55 call. So $40 call, maybe. We'll see what happens with once the volatility is squeezed. That's going to be just fine. Obviously, $55, $60 calls are going to be 100% of money that I sold, and a $55 call I will lose money because obviously I bought them for $2 and now they're going to be probably worth pennies. Let's move on to Tesla. And there's obviously a strategy that we used with the 1 standard deviation or 2 standard, sometime going out to 2 standard deviation, and we do very well with the earning trades. Tesla, I saw the Tesla right here, this consolidation on Tesla. I saw the weekly chart, as you can see, on Tesla. So we went out on 1 standard deviation on Tesla, and I actually sold a $315 call. This was expecting about a 10% move, so I went 2 standard deviation. So sold a 315 Tesla calls, and then I sold 235 puts for $1.15. So 235, as you can see, is right over here, and that looks like kind of kind of a black swan type of event, because right now Tesla's right at 255, and 255 is right over here where I drew the line. So that's 255. So the 235 puts that we've sold, that was right at 200 moving average, and I was willing to own the stock at this point if it actually dropped down here, that they were going to be 100%, about 90% of money. The obviously the upside calls will be 100% in money, so that's going to be a money maker for us. I did not buy in between because I was pretty comfortable with Tesla. GMCR, I wanted to sell 10 $90 calls. I was only filled on 6 of them, but though they're going to be in the money, I did have a swing position here that I got out at 77, 79, and the room, my room knows exactly where we got out. So we actually, what we did, we went to the 5 minutes chart, and it looked like here, it looked like we're heading higher, and then we topped out here, and I told the room, hey, let's put a stop here. If we take it out here, then that's all she wrote. So we took out right here. Otherwise, we were going to close the trade anyways. But that was, hey, that we're going to trail out, or this thing is going to rally into the close, and we'll take our profits there. So that's what we did on GMCR. Now, let's talk about the FB, Facebook. Facebook, a nice little pattern right here. As you can recognize, this is a bullish pattern, rising moving averages. You've got a 21-day MA, 21 MA, and you've got a 50 MA right here. This is gapping just above this. I love this gap on the hourly chart. Facebook had not too favorable earnings, but since stabilized here, and this gap up right here, and you can start to see the Facebook is kind of right here about to penetrate out of this, and then today the gap just above this, that was the target on Facebook, and that's where we traded. We went down to the smaller time frame, and I'll show you how this trade actually materialized. We went down to the smaller time frame. Now we know what our analytical time frame looks like. We went to the executional time frame, which was right here. This was the pattern. I just showed you this pattern on the daily chart. This is the pattern on a 1 minute chart. Pattern is the pattern. We took the trade. We took the trade here on Facebook, and as you can see, the call on the Facebook, and then we right over here, I actually added the Facebook right here, and then we took profits right on this pop here on Facebook. Now I want to talk to you about FSLR. FSLR was gapping up, and first daily chart, first thing first. I was watching FSLR. There's a lot of short interest in this name as well. If this was gapping over here, I would have been all over it the first thing in the morning. However, this thing actually gapped a little bit more than I wanted, because it was this right here. This right here is a gap fill. So if you know, one thing that I would mention here more than anything else, so you guys will help you all understand the nuances in gap, and this is really a golden nugget that I teach in a gap mentorship, personal gap mentorship, and I'll talk to you about it. Once you have a gap fill, it's gonna act as support or resistance, a self-fulfilling prophecy. So even though this stock has already started to move back up, but we had a green bar. First of all, we had a green bar, so there's, first pullback will be imminent. FSLR call, we didn't get into the FSLR till look at the time here. We didn't get into the FSLR till 9:44. You see where we got into Facebook at 9:35. I showed you that pattern on Facebook. So let's go back here. 9:44 we got into Facebook, and I said the pullback. Drill, come down to the 1 minute chart. I have 1 minute chart. I always keep 1 minute chart all the way up till 10, then I change it to 2 minutes, and so on and so forth. So 9:44, I'm watching this. As you saw this right here, I'm watching this on a daily chart. You see bottoming tail where it's falling. So as you coming down here, right over here, this bar right here, as this bar triggered, once I saw this, a double bottom here, I saw this double bottom, and the price is held. That's where I called the room. I called the trade at 9:44. I said we are going to we're going to take this over 49.75, and we're going to give it a little bit a wider stop than a little bit of wider stop, because we could move the stop here. I said no, we're going to give it a 49. The stop is going to be 49, because right over here you can see the low is 49.01. The call right here, what's the call here? The call here is right here. 49 49.75 by 49. So that's where I called a trade. Now, once this is once we got in right over here, then we added to our trade right here over 50 bucks right here. Consolidation here. That's a confirmation of this trend that we are changing direction, and bam, that's and on off we go at 9:53 right over here. 9:53, look at the volume. We took profit. I told the traders, hey, this thing has a little bit more in it. It actually went to 53 bucks, so it was a pretty profitable trade nonetheless. I know a couple of my traders held this trade to 52.50, so congratulations to those that held this trade. And then MSI, let's talk about the MSI, and then we look at, and I'll give you a little bit of the market review. MSI, what's the problem here, MSI? Well, first thing first, you got to look at this. For MSI is already starting to rally. You've got a green bar, that gap after the green bar. You've got a resistance right here on MSI. The size will be the one issue, but how would you play that? Well, you have to play this either through consolidation or a pullback. And this pattern right here, it's a very tough pattern to pass. Very tough pattern. Matter of fact, as a day trader, this is your dream on this, that this thing isn't going to come down. This thing is poised to move higher. And that was the trade. 64 by 63.70, off we go. Bam. But this bar, major slippage right here. That's where I had slippage. And I ended up moving my stop and got out of this because I saw some of, bids are getting super weak here. And off, it's just we just weren't getting too many bids. So I actually ended up getting taken out right here into this bar. But even moving the stop to break even, this trade would have produced at least 65 bucks. So 65 bucks was the high here, and this is where this trade would have produced. So another thing, we talked about, how to position sizes. All trades are called before we enter in the trade. They're all well thought out. They're all well executed, and most importantly, communicated to the room. So hopefully you enjoyed this little video. And if you like, come check out the livetraders.net. That is right here. It's a livetraders.net, right over here. Livetraders.net, our website address. If you like, you can also give us a call at 714-926-2866, or simply email us at info@livetraders.net if you're interested in a trial. And we do have a week trial for $29. So come check it out. As far as the market gap into resistance, exactly what we talked about pre-market meeting, that this is going to be tough gap for market to hold. Went into resistance, came back with what you really need to watch here is the IWM. IWM, I've been telling my traders, the 200-day MA is going to be the key. So 121, if you're long in IWM, 121 is your guide right here. If IWM takes out 121, it's going to have the things are going to get accelerated. The volatility is going to increase. It's going to have a pretty good flush here. IWM is still in a downtrend. Nothing has changed. It has broken its uptrend on the weekly chart. Hasn't done that in ages. At least that's what it seems like. Dow Jones Industrials, only 30 stocks. I usually don't, I don't give too much credence to Dow Jones Industrial. Also looking very weak. And then obviously the blue chips are starting to look like more like red chips, right? Apple's kind of falling apart. Disney reported earnings today, and that didn't do very well. So that's Disney probably have a little bit more of a downside left. And then last but not least is your spiders. So spiders is kind of in this downtrend as well, and holding this 209 area. This 209 area is pivotal. I mean, look at this chart. I mean, who would want to trade this chart if you really think about it? I mean, there's nothing about this chart that's compelling. That's what you call it, a typical choppy market. What choppy is exactly what it means in a dictionary. It chops you into pieces if you're not playing in the right direction. So with that said, hope everyone have a great evening. If you had a chance, check out this video. Let me know if you like it. We'll do more, at least 2 or 3 per week. and be sure to come check us out, livetraders.net. Thanks, everyone.